In our last episode, the Sharks finally got their first victory over rival FIU, and then they got dominated for 2 straight games against our rivals. This week, we take on Kennesaw State, the final rival on our schedule, and next year they're going to be a conference foe as we are going to open up on defense in this one, and hopefully they can perform better than they have the last 2 weeks, as that's a good tackle on special teams. Coming out here is their starting quarterback, Dexter Williams II. He had a fantastic week last week, and we need to slow him down, especially when it comes to his passing ability, as he's going to open up attacking our secondary and getting a first down quickly. Now it's going to be 2nd and 10 here. He's looking to pass. He's going to check it down, pick up 6. That's a solid gain here, bringing up 3rd down and 4. Jimmy Berry on the tackle there. It looks like they're going to use play action here to set up a deep shot. They got Lockridge one-on-one, and that's who they're going to target, and he gets beat over the top. That's a huge play all the way down to the 9-yard line. 2nd and 9. Now they're going to go to the ground game. This is the first run of the day that I show off, and it's a short run. We do a good job bottling them up, forcing 3rd down and 5 for Dexter Williams, and he has a man open in the end zone. That just didn't work out. Thompson got beat. We're in a 7-0 hole here as LeVar Dodge comes out onto the field. He's our best receiver based on overall, but he hasn't been the best performing as we open up on the ground, and we're going to lose 3. That one just didn't work out for us. So 2nd and long, back to the ground game. Harris has a little bit of space, and he's going to throw a stiff arm, and unfortunately that causes him to lose a few yards, bringing up 3rd down and 9. We're going to get Gardner on the move following that play action to the left. Everybody's well covered. He fires one into Quinn Gamble, and it's just not held onto, so we got to punt the ball back to Kennesaw State. They have pretty good field position as they go underneath and pick up 5 more yards right around midfield here on 2nd down. Little bit of motion. Looks like they're going to go to the play action game again. Just go underneath, and we got beat. CC McKenzie left his man open. That'll give him a fresh set of downs here, as it looks like they want to target a deep pass again, but this time Dexter Williams takes off. That's a 13-yard gain before he goes down. This offense has been really efficient today as they go 5 wide, and again Dexter Williams checks it down underneath, and that's a solid 9-yard gain. Unfortunately, it looks like our defense is carried over from the last 2 weeks as Dexter Williams pulls it on a read option. He has all sorts of yardage ahead of him, and he's going to walk in. Touchdown Kennesaw State. They take the 14-0 advantage here early. We're also going to miss Antoine Keys for part of this game. He's a huge pass rusher for us. That's a big loss. So now it's time to see if our offense can answer, as we're going to go up the middle with Eric Harris and pick up a first down. That's our best run of the day. 2nd and 10 here. Go to LeVar Dodge on a screen. He gets the edge, and that's going to be a huge gain, getting us a first down as he stiff arms out to the 45-yard line. Big play for the Sharks there. Play action. Now we're looking to take a shot, and we just check it down underneath. Nice play. Get the yards that we can get to LeVar Dodge. 2nd and 3 now, looking to pass out to Dodge, and that's an easy first down. That'll keep this drive right on schedule as we're looking to pass here. On the move now is Gardner, feeling pressure, and he just gets that pass out late. If he'd have thrown that a little bit sooner, we'd have had a big play, but now it's 3rd down and 9. We check it down underneath. That's a good catch, but we don't have time to get there. Dodge is tackled, bringing up 4th down and 2, and we're going to be aggressive and go for it as we check down underneath, and that one's going to be dropped. So we give the Owls the ball back with a chance to get a 3-score lead, and if they get up that big, I don't know if we're going to be able to come back from that as they pick up 7 to begin the drive on 2nd down. They find a guy wide open. He beat Jimmy Berry. That's just a bad matchup for a huge first down to the 24-yard line. Williams again looking to pass, goes to the screen game, and that's Quan Harvey there to make the play, forcing a 3rd down and 7. Williams again looking to pass, has a receiver open who makes the catch across the line to gain, but has to come back for it. So it's 4th down and inches, and they're going to kick this field goal and give themselves a 17-0 lead here in this game. So for now, we're going to go to just highlights as there's 21 seconds left in this first quarter. They're going to boot a long field goal and shank it wide left. That's going to be a miss and give us a chance as the first quarter comes to an end here. It's still a 17-0 ball game. It really has not gone great for us on offense. Defensively, we haven't really been able to get stops. Later in this game here in the second quarter, they have great field position. They hand it off, and look at this run. Quan Harvey got thrown down, and he just couldn't make the play, and that allows for the touchdown, giving Kennesaw State a 24-0 lead. We're going to attempt a field goal here with about 6 minutes left in the second quarter that hits the upright and bounces in, making this score 24-3. Now jumping to just after the 2-minute timeout, we're going to attempt a 40-yard field goal that's up and good, making this a 24-6 ball game and giving us a little bit of hope. Unfortunately, the Owls will get another try before halftime, and they're going to add 3 back right to their score, making it a 27-6 game here at halftime. We started to get the offense figured out, but our defense still is really struggling here. And you can see that here with 10 minutes left in the third quarter as they just check it down on a screen that will go for 6 after he runs over 2 defenders to get into the end zone. That'll make this a 34-6 ball game. Just under 9 minutes left in the third quarter. We're going to go to a screen here. We got all sorts of space with Eric Harris. This is a big play down across the 40, stiff arms to the 35-yard line. Now 8.5 minutes left here. On the moves to Johnny Gardner. He's going to take a shot down the field. He finds Gamble for a huge play. That's going to set us up inside of the 10-yard line. Unfortunately, it'll only lead to a field goal attempt that's actually gonna miss. We missed a great opportunity there. That was the best drive our offense had in a really long time. Big mistake to end the third quarter. As you can see, it's been all Kennesaw State in this one. That's why we rushed through it. And we're hoping we're going to be able to find a good game for you here as we're just under 8 minutes left in the game. They hand it off and they go in for 6. Touchdown Kennesaw State. They're going to make this 41-6 today. It's been all Owls, and I can't wait to take on our rivals next year and hopefully pay them back. But here, just under 7 minutes left in the game, we're going to get a big pass to Kwanzaa Dillard Norris for a first down. Johnny Gardner is going to look to pass. Here he has DJ Dash open. That's a tough catch. He's going to break off that tackle and explode all the way down to the 13-yard line. Big play by our small but fast receiver. Again, Gardner's going to go to the screen game. This right here is Benjamin making the catch. Benjamin gets the edge. Benjamin goes in. Touchdown, Sharks. We're finally back on the board. It's still a blowout. It's 41-13, but at least we get a highlight here in the second half from Isaac Galloway. But we're going to jump ahead here to 5.5 minutes left in this game. They're going to hand it off, and they got nothing but green grass. One man to beat, and Thompson just completely whiffs. Benjamin tried to catch him from behind, couldn't get up there, as it's now up to Quan Harvey, and he's gonna miss. Touchdown for the Owls, making it 48-13. Minute and a half left in this game. We are gonna kick a field goal to make ourselves feel a little better, making it a 48-16 ball game. And that will be your final here today. We simply did not play well enough. We put in a bunch of backups late in this one, and we're trying to find ourselves. After our win over FIU, things kind of fell apart for the next 3 weeks. We lost a lot of confidence against Florida State, Miami, and now Kennesaw State. We have to regroup in this episode. I do think we have some winnable games coming up, and hopefully we can get it figured out. Our offense was all right in this one. We didn't have any turnovers, which is great because that's something we usually struggle with. Johnny Gardner actually played pretty good. I mean, he had 360 yards, hit 71% of his passes. Our biggest issue is we can't really run the ball, and it's been a problem all season. Kwanzaa Dillard Norris had 11 catches for 99 yards, 9 for 81 for LeVar Dodge, 8 for 55 for Zira Smith Jr. Gamble had a couple big catches, 3 for 60 in this one. DJ Dash had a really impressive catch that was in traffic, and he was able to explode and show off his big play upside. Taking a look at our defense, we were led by Marquise Winger, our safety, and Elijah Lockridge. They each had over 10 tackles in this ball game. Quite impressive, but you don't want your secondary to do that. Jimmy Berry had 3 TFLs. We didn't get any sacks or any interceptions, and we only had 1 pass deflection from CC McKenzie, and that just shows our defensive struggles. Coming out of that one, Jimmy Berry wins FCS Independent Player of the Week, and as we take a look at recruiting, things are actually looking pretty solid here. We feel pretty good. It looks like things are going well. The only problem is I noticed Miami jumps in on left tackle Akim Lodon, who we were really hoping to be able to bring in. If we can hold off Miami, that would be great, but I definitely worry. Next up, we're going to take on UAB, and they do have an advantage over us, but I think at just a 69 overall, we can hope to be able to compete in this ball game. I'm not 100% sure how much of a disadvantage we'll be at, but this feels like a possibly winnable ball game, because that's a pretty solid return, and we're going to see our offense to begin the day. LeVar Dodge has been pretty good this year. As you can see, catches are messed up. He had more than 20 entering last week's game, and then he had a big game last week. But we're going to open up in the air here, and that's a terrible pass. Kwanzaa Dillard Norris got bumped, bringing up 2nd and 10. We go to Eric Harris, and he is bottled up. That's going to make it 3rd down and 10 already here today. Trying not to go 3 and out. Johnny Gardner is going to check it down, and Kwanzaa Dillard Norris went nowhere. We went 3 and out pretty quickly, and Jalen Kitten is the starting quarterback for UAB. He's not a good person, man. UF kicked him off the team for good reason, and I'm not excited to have to talk about him, so I'll probably not use his name much. His dad saved his life because he probably deserves to be in a cell somewhere. But it's 1st and 10. He's going to throw it into a tight window, and that's completed in front of Antoine Keys, bringing up 2nd down and 4 for the Blazers. Getting underneath. Nice tackle there by Keys. That'll bring up 3rd down and 4 here, and they're going to look to go quick underneath, and Quan Harvey gets beat, allowing that 1st down. Jimmy Berry gets over there to get him down. On 1st and 10, though, they're going to hand it off, and that's a big play by Saturday making that tackle. 2nd and 12 now, back to the ground game. They're trying to get the edge, and they're going to fight, pick up a couple yards, but that's fine. It's 3rd and long, so now it's all up to our defense. Kitna in the pocket, stepping up. He's going towards the goal line, and Javondre May's going to hit him and knock that ball out. What a huge play there. We're going to force a turnover, and I only wish we could have taken Kitna out of the game with that play, because you know what? He deserves it. He's not a good person, man. But look at this hit by May at about the 1.5 yard line. He just decks him and loosens that ball up. Great play as we go to Uric Harris on the ground to begin the next drive. Solid carry, but it's already 3rd down and 3. Luckily, we have LeVar Dodge open for the 1st down. We got 5.5 minutes left here in the 1st quarter. We're going to run a screen. We got Zira Smith Jr. That's going to be a nice play, setting up a 2nd and short. Unfortunately, we don't do anything, so it's going to be 3rd down and 3. We go back to the screen game. That's Kwanzaa Dillard Norris for the 1st down. Under 4 minutes here in the 1st quarter. Tajani Gardner's going to pass again, and he has Kwanzaa Dillard Norris for a good gain. We can't push the ball down the field, but as long as we can hit these short passes, we'll be okay, as it's 3rd and 5, and that's going to be a pick. That's a good play by their corner. He jumped in front of LeVar Dodge, and he's going to take that back to the house. Nobody's there to stop him. UAB is going to take a 7-0 lead early in this one. Honestly, it was just a bad read by Tajani Gardner, and he got baited into making a bad decision, as it's 3rd and 10 on our next drive, and he's just going to take a sack, and that'll end it. Giving the Blazers good field position as they go to their ground game, and that's a good TFL by Thompson. That's the type of play we need to see from our defense, as it's 2nd and 13. Kitna has a man wide open, and that's a 1st down in front of Marquise Winger. 25 seconds left here in the 1st quarter. They go back to their ground game. Lockridge gets him down, but that will end your 1st quarter. We've had control of the ball so far, but our offense hasn't been great. UAB has been better than ours. We've been very inefficient. It's 3rd and 15, though, as we open up the 2nd quarter. They got a man wide open. He just split Quan Harvey and Marquise Winger for the 1st down. Good read against his own defense, as Kitten is going to pull and run, and down he goes after picking up 7. Jimmy Berry gets him to the ground. They're going to go with a reverse, and that simply didn't work. That's Gilberto Benjamin getting the TFL, forcing a 3rd down and 9 for the Blazers. But we don't get any pressure in there, and he fits it in the zone right in front of Jimmy Berry for the touchdown, giving the Blazers a 14-0 advantage here. We're just going to start jumping ahead in this one. The Blazers going to punch it in here, extend their lead up to 21-0 with about 4 minutes left here in the 2nd quarter. Down to 35 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. Kitna steps up. He's going to fire, and we just miss. Marquise Winger didn't make the play, and that's another touchdown for the Blazers. So we're going to be trailing 28-0 here as we head into halftime. Things haven't gone well. The Blazers have been far superior to us. I didn't think this game would get this far out of control, but unfortunately, we just didn't play well in it. And you know what? That's what's going to happen when you make mistakes. Here late in the 3rd quarter, we got Gardner on the move, and that looks like DPI. We ran into the defender, but it's just going to be another interception. They do not throw a flag on that play. And I kind of get it, but I mostly disagree with it. I think it's a little bit BS. Them 2 defenders ran into us, but I guess I get it as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. The Blazers still dominating this one. Looking at the top of the rankings here, you can see it's Texas, Georgia, Clemson, and Ohio State all doing really well, as the Blazers are going to add more points on here in the 4th quarter, making it a 31-0 lead with almost 10 minutes left in the game. Now we're back to the Blazers looking to punch it in, but there's going to be a fumble with 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter. That's recovered by Antoine Keys. Big play for our defense, but unfortunately it won't add up to any points, as we're going to jump to 1:15 left in this ball game and watch the Blazers add 3 more, making it 34-0. This game just simply was not looking good for us, as we are going to try a last-second field goal to get some points, and we're going to go wide left. We got shut out in this one. 34-0 is going to be your final. I expected a better game here today. Certainly didn't think the Blazers were that much better than us, but at the end of the day, they dominated us, and our offense just couldn't get going. We had too many turnovers. That dude played a pretty good game, even though he's a terrible person, but our offense struggled. We only had 216 total yards. We couldn't run the ball. We definitely weren't efficient passing. We had too many turnovers, and, you know, it ended up being a net 0 because we also had 2 turnovers for the Blazers, but at the end of the day, we just couldn't do anything. Gardner struggled. He hit 54% of his passes. Like I said, 2 picks, no touchdowns, of course. Uric Harris is just bottled up. We can't run the ball at all right now. We are kind of just have the field shrunk on us on offense. We can't get any explosive plays. Like, we're getting a lot of completions to Kwanzaa Dillard Norris, but they're not big plays, so we're pretty bottled up. Looking at our defense, Ishmael Spears led us with 11 tackles, followed by Javondre May and Elijah Lockridge. We had a good day from some of these guys as far as like TFLs and tackles go, but our defense didn't perform. Logan had 3 TFLs, Harvey had 2, Saturday had 2. We did end up with a sack here today, and that was from Jamari Logan. Interceptions, of course, we didn't get any. We don't do that. We did get a couple pass deflections, one from Spears and one from Jimmy Berry. And as you can see, FBS Independent Player of the Week does go to Ishmael Spears. I don't think he had a great week, but Notre Dame obviously didn't do much on defense. As we're going to take a look at recruiting, and you can see things are looking pretty good right now for all of the players we're targeting. We're handling our business. We're in a good spot. We took our points off of DeAndre Courtney because I expect to lose him. Damian Hooks ended up locking us out, but we're still in first place, so we're going to leave him on the board. We ended up adding a kicker in Earl Peters and a center in Andy Willikies to our board, and we're going to try to jump in that battle. Now, we have a game we might actually be able to win here against Ball State. They only have a 10-point overall advantage on us, and I think we're actually going to be able to battle in this one as we're going to wear some custom uniforms. We're going to mix our shark gray and our home uniforms for this game. That is kicking off here at noon, and it is beautiful outside. Let me know what you guys think of the uniforms, and also, if you're still sticking around, consider subscribing to the channel. I would truly appreciate it. We're trying to build my second channel up here as Keel Kelly's coming out onto the field. He's been really good for Ball State this year. 14 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's a dynamic dual threat quarterback. They're going to open it up by handing it off, and look at all of the green grass available. We end up getting him down with Marquise Winger, and we lose Javondre May on the first play of the game. That's a big loss. He's not a high overall, but he's performed really well for us as they go back to the ground game. That's a pretty solid pickup before he goes down, bringing up 3rd down and 5. Kelly on the moves. He looks like he's just going to tuck and run, and look at that speed as he gets the first down. We end up making the tackle, but they're in really good field position as they go back to the ground game. We hit him. That's Jamari Logan and Jimmy Berry getting him down, bringing up 2nd down and 5 as they go back to the ground game, and he goes down for no gain. 3rd down and 5 now. Kelly looking to pass, taking a deep shot, one-on-one coverage. That's going to be broken up. Great play by Quan Harvey there. They're going to attempt a 52-yard field goal, and it's going to go wide left. He had plenty of power, but he just missed it. Now let's check out this Sharks offense. They're going to open it up by handing it off to Ulrich Harris. He's going to get the edge, and that's a nice run. A gain of 9 there to begin the day. 2nd and 1 now. They're going to go to the RPO game, find Zira Smith Jr., and he's going to get just enough to keep this drive going. We've really only been able to sustain our passing offense with screens as we're going to get Gardner on the move. I love this play. He just tucks, runs, and picks up 9. We don't even throw it that often. I just think we're able to use our speed with him to get the edge and get a good gain as it's going to be 3rd and 1. We go back to Ulrich Harris, and that's a 1st down. That's one of his better runs I've seen in quite a while from him. 1st and 10 on the move, and we tried to flip that play to the other side, and Ball State was ready for it, backing us up, making it 3rd down and 27 now. We just check it down underneath the Kwanzaa Dillard Norris, get what we can. 4th and 18. We decide we're going to go for it just based on where we are in the field. We barely get that pass off. If we'd have taken a sack, that'd have been a huge mistake as Ball State takes over and goes nowhere. Great read by Quan Harvey on that play. 2nd and 9 now. Keel Kelly looking to pass. It's a screen, and they're going to get a good gain on that. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 here. In the gun, offset. They hand it off, and they are not going to get there. Great play by Jamari Logan, forcing the punt back to the Sharks. Tajani Gardner is going to get this passing game going, find his man open for a solid 8-yard gain. On 2nd down, it's a read option, and we got nothing but green grass. This is a huge run from our quarterback all the way down to the 31-yard line. We don't see that out of him near enough. That's his strong suit, and we need to use it a little bit more as it's going to be 3rd down and 3 here. Gardner, man wide open. That's going to be LeVar Dodge, gone for a touchdown, but there is a flag. And as you can see, they're going to call us for holding, so that play is going to come back, forcing us into a 3rd and 13, which is much harder to convert. We still just check it down, and unfortunately we miss, and that'll end the first quarter. It's been a really tight ball game so far. Our offense has been pretty good. We've been slightly more efficient. We've controlled the ball, but we didn't get any points in the first quarter, and that's disappointing as Ball State has it here. 3rd and 2. They go to the screen game, and they're going to get a big 1st down. That's a nice play, and look at that stiff arm to get a few extra. That's a beautiful play. Keel Kelly back to the RPO game, and we're going to bottle it up. Nice tackle by number 29. 2nd and 6 here, back to the ground game, and look at that. He gets the edge. That just shows the speed advantage they have. Jimmy Berry does get over there to make the play as they're going to pull it with Keel Kelly on a read option. This time, we're all over that. That gets bottled up, forcing 2nd and long. But look at that, man. They get a nice run on 2nd down, making 3rd down very manageable. It's going to be tough for our defense to get a stop here as we're going to see them hand it off, and Gilberto Benjamin can't make the play in time. And we also lose Jamari Logan on that play, which could be a big loss for the middle of our defense as they go on a counter, and that play didn't work. Gilberto Benjamin makes the tackle. Logan should be able to return, but for now, we're going to keep him out of the game. 2nd and 12, Keel Kelly checks it down, and that's a nice tackle by Quan Harvey, ensuring they don't get much, making it 3rd and long here. Kelly stepping up in the pocket. He's going to run, and we can't make the tackle with Jimmy Berry, and that allows a touchdown. Thompson came over and made the hit at the goal line, but it wasn't enough. Ball State's going to take the 7-0 advantage here. We should have stopped them and made that just a 3-point try. But let's see if our offense can answer as Gardner's going to go underneath. That's another high pass that just hurts our production. 3rd and 8 now. Gardner feeling a little pressure. He's going to have his man wide open. That's Dillard Norris getting the 1st down. Kwanzaa's been a great player for us, man. We really enjoy having him. But it's 3rd down once again. This time we just check it down to him, and look at the fight he has, making it 4th and 2, and we had to punt, and unfortunately that brings it to halftime with us trailing 7-0. Looking at stats, we're the better team. We should be winning this ball game. We just haven't been playing particularly well after we get across the 50-yard line, and we haven't been able to finish drives. As we're going to open up the second half with the ball handed off to Eric Harris and go nowhere. It's already 3rd down and 10. Gardner looking to pass, and that's dropped. That should have been a conversion by Quinn Gamble. We just had a huge opportunity missed there, so we're already giving the ball back to Ball State. And look at that run, man. He dead legs and makes number 29 miss. That's Ishmael Spears, who should have had him down. It's 2nd and inches. Kelly stepping up, taking off and running, and he gets a good 1st down. That's about a 10-yard gain. Back to the ground game they go, this time with their quarterback, and we're there. We read it perfectly, and he goes nowhere. Gilberto Benjamin gets shaken up. I'm hoping he's going to be able to return to this game. He's a big, important player for us as they go to the screen game, and that's Elijah Lockridge making the tackle, and somehow they call that a fumble. I really don't think it is. We do recover it, but let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. You can see here, his butt's down, the ball's still in his hands, and then it flops out. That's going to be overturned, you would think. No, they actually give us the ball, and we get to keep it. So now we got to capitalize as Tajani Gardner takes a bad sack, making it 2nd and 13. Gardner going down the field, and that's a terrible decision. He threw a pick, trying to force the ball to LeVar Dodge, and we're going to give him great field position. You know what? It kind of is what it is. That never should have been a turnover. We were gifted an opportunity, and we didn't take it as they go back to the ground game, and that's Antoine Keys making the tackle in the open field. Kelly looking to pass as he's going to roll to the left, and he throws across his body. What a throw that was in front of Elijah Lockridge. 2nd and 8 now, back to the ground game, and we are there. Great tackle by number 25. I can't remember his name. It's 3rd and 11. They are going to throw a curl, and we make the tackle, making it 4th and inches. They're going to attempt a field goal, and you know these bad kickers can't make that kick. It goes wide left. This score is going to stay 7-0. Let's see if our offense can answer as we barely get that pass out of there, and that's a nice play by Zyrus Smith Jr. to make that into a big one, and he takes us all the way out to the 40-yard line as Gardner is going to step up, tuck, and run, and that's a nice one. He picks up about 12, 13 yards, gets a 1st down across the 50. Back to the ground game. Eric Harris getting a carry, and again, he's just bottled up. We cannot get him going, but we're going to keep trying as we're going to run some play action, and Tajani Gardner is going to take off. I love that play just as a running play, man. That's a huge one all the way down to the 29. As we go to the bubble, that's LeVar Dodge with all sorts of green grass and another quick 1st down to the 15-yard line. We're going to go again. Look at that play action. This time we throw it. That's Quinn Gamble finding his way into the end zone. Great play by Tajani Gardner, and finally we throw it on that play, and I don't think the defense was ready. We're going to have a chance to tie this one up as we do hit the extra point and make it a 7-7 ball game with 3 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Now let's see what Ball State can do to answer. They're going to hand it off, and we are all over it with Jimmy Berry. Gilberto Benjamin's shaken up again. He's going to have to come out for a while as it's 2nd and 12. They go underneath. Nice tackle by Elijah Lockridge, making it 3rd down and 6. Kelly feeling a little pressure, scrambling. He gets it away. That's not a great throw, though. But look at that catch. He high points it in front of Quan Harvey. I don't know how he came down with that big play. But it's 1st and 20 following a hold, and we're going to get in there and get a sack. Jamari Logan causes the disruption there. That's a big one for our defense as there's a minute 19 left here in the third quarter. Kelly is going to go underneath, get a completion, get a few yards, but it's 3rd down and 21 for the Cardinal as they just decide to hand it off. And look at that run, man. Ultimately, it don't matter. Quan Harvey makes the tackle, forcing them to punt, which I wasn't sure they were going to do, even though it was 4th and 15. And with 18 seconds left in the third quarter, we're going to hand it off. And look at that solid run there by Eric Harris as the third quarter is going to come to an end there. Taking a look at your top 5 here, it's Oklahoma, Georgia, Alabama, Oregon, and Ohio State. Those are blue bloods at the top. It's going to be tough to beat them as we are back on offense. And look at this fight by LeVar Dodge. He catches that underneath and just drags a guy for about 5 yards, getting a first down. We're going to hand it off here, and Eric Harris shows a little fight, picking up 5. We will take that. We need just 1 score, and we need our defense to hold up. 3rd and 6 though, we're gonna go underneath, and that's bounced to Eric Harris. That should have been an easy completion. We got to punt the ball back to the Cardinal. Spears is gonna miss the tackle on Keel Kelly on the next play, and he's gonna run for a first down there. Now that looks like another straight QB running. He's gonna fumble the ball. This time I think they got back on top of it, but we're gonna lose Jamari Logan to injury. That could really hurt us. 2nd and 10, Kelly stepping up. He has a clean pocket, taking off, and that's a big hit there, but it won't matter. Thompson decked him. He held onto it, though, bringing up a 3rd down and 2 here. Kelly stepping up, running, and we were not prepared for that. He gets the first down. You've seen Jamari Logan is going to return to the game at some point as they're going to hand it off here. And look at the running, man. They find some space, getting a first down. 6:34 left in the game. They hand it off, and it's 1-on-1, and they had nowhere to go. Big tackle there by Lockridge. That's what we needed. Jimmy Berry shaken up, though. That could be a big loss for us. 2nd and 13. They're going to get Kelly on the move. He's going to go down the field, and he misses. He had him wide open in front of May there. That could have been a huge play, but it's going to be 3rd and 13 instead, and they have to throw it quick, and they get basically nothing, forcing them to attempt about a 47-yard field goal that is going to go through and give the Cardinal the advantage in this game. It's a 10-7 defensive battle here today. Our offense has been able to move the ball pretty well, but we need to punch it in on this drive as we're going to go underneath. We find Quinn Gamble. That's a good start to this drive. He fights ahead all the way out to the 40. Big fight from our top tight end. He may not be a high overall, but that's a good play. Coming out in the pistol here, we're going to fake the handoff, throw the bubble, and we got a big open gap for LeVar Dodge. He's down to the 30. He's down to the 20 and knocked out at about the 16-yard line. That's a huge play, and that's going to set us up at least in field goal range. As we go to the bubble on the other side, that's Zyrus Smith Jr. getting 11, setting up a first down and goal. This drive has gone great. We go back to the RPO game, and this time it did not work out at all. On 2nd and goal, we're just going to hand it off. Nope, we're actually going to run play action, take off with Tajani Gardner, and he gets the edge. Touchdown, Sharks. We got a lead in this ball game with about 4 minutes left. We've got to play defense now. All we need is 1 stop, and I think we win this one up 14-10. Kelly looking to pass, and that's a nice tackle. Quan Harvey comes back to it, setting up 2nd and 1. Kelly feeling pressure, moving in the pocket, but he does find his man open. Harvey ended up getting beat on that play, and that'll give him the first down here as it's 2nd and 10 now. Kelly feeling no pressure in the pocket, and I don't know how he completed that pass. It should not have been. We were all over the receiver. Now in field goal range, they're going to pull it with Kelly on a read option, and he has all sorts of space. If he'd have cut inside, that's a touchdown, and I kind of wish he would have. That left more time on the clock. 2 minutes left in this game, coming out of the 2-minute timeout. We're going to get pressure, and down goes Kelly. That's Jimmy Berry with the sack. It's going to be a 2nd and 15 now for the Cardinal. Now they're going to have to pass here. Minute 35 left. They got a receiver. We hit him in the back. That animation finally went in our favor. 3rd and 15. Kelly stepping up in the pocket all day, and he finds his man open. That's going to end up being a touchdown as he just barely breaks the plane. Now we're down by 3 with a minute 24 left. We're going to have to drive and get a field goal as we started off with LeVar Dodge. Nice cut. It only ends up being an 8-yard gain, though. I thought we had a chance to get more yardage there. 2nd and 2. We're going to get Gardner just underneath, find a completion. That's Kwanzaa Dillard Norris picking up the first down. Use our first time out with a minute 4 left in this ball game. We got to be smart. Tajani Gardner feeling pressure. He barely gets that pass out. We should have went the other way. We went right into that one, nearly a sack as we're going to get Gardner on the move. and we're going to look to tuck and run like we always do on this play, and he will get us a first down as we're down to just 51 seconds left in this ball game. Gardner taking a deep shot. We might have our man, but it's slightly underthrown. If we were able to lead Dillard Norris, that's a big play, but now it's 2nd and 10. Gardner again looking deep, and that's a pick. That's going to be your ball game. We were looking for Quinn Gamble, and as we look at this replay, guys, I do kind of think it should have been a flag, honestly. He got run into right there, and the defender was not trying to get out of his way. I don't know. Maybe it shouldn't have been again. It was just kind of a bang-bang play. I get maybe why they didn't call it, but it certainly hurts us as we end up dropping this ball game to the Cardinal, 17-14. Keel Kelly was your player of the game. He had a really good game for the Cardinal. Our offense was actually good in this game. We performed well. We were able to both run and pass, mostly with the quarterback when we came to running, but we were finally able to actually do it. We didn't turn the ball over much, which is nice to see. I mean, we did have 2 picks, but we were able to get some turnovers back that helped us out. Overall, Gardner played a good game. So did Eric Harris. I mean, he averaged 4.7 yards per carry, and that's something he certainly has not done very often in this dynasty. We had 81 yards rushing with Gardner and a touchdown. He was fantastic on the ground. Looking at our receivers, Zira Smith led us with 7 receptions for 53 yards. LeVar Dodge had a big day. He actually had over 70 yards receiving. Taking a look at our defense, we had 13 tackles for Elijah Lockwood, 9 from Jimmy Berry, 8 from Wheaton. That's who number 25 is. Ishmael Spears had 7. We had 3 TFLs from Berry, 3 from Wheaton, 2 from Antoine Keys, who's been a fantastic player for us. We had a sack from Jamari Logan, half a 1 from Wheaton, and half from Berry. Of course, we didn't get any interceptions. It's just not something we do good at. We had 2 pass deflections from Quan Harvey, 1 from Thompson, and 1 from Lockridge. Coming out of that game, we finally get some commits, and it's a 4-star wide receiver, Randy Scruggs. We're expecting huge things out of him, and we also lock up 4-star center, Mateo Galindo, and he's somebody that we can't wait to have on this team next year. Our offensive line needs a major upgrade, and he's going to provide us one. Taking a look at the rest of our recruiting board, things are not looking great for Keenan Mills. We're in a recruiting battle with Illinois, and I'm worried about how that'll go. We also have Tavon Amizi. We have a great lead on him. I think we're going to get that 4-star receiver as well. Amani Nagy, we're doing great. We might be able to get a commit from him. Javier Eddy looking good. Same with Lonnie Biggs. Hooks, we're still in the lead. We're just locked out. Wilkies, we're doing good. Peters, we're doing good. We added Bobby Armstrong and Jaleel Radley onto our board as well, and we're going to start recruiting them. We did officially lose DeAndre Courtney, but we kind of expected that. And in the next episode, we're going to kick it off by taking on Tulsa out of the American. I don't think this game's going to go particularly well for us. There's a strong chance we could get blown out. We haven't done well with any team over 70 overall, but I want to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one. I'm out.